Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what the narcissist can't get away from. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, there are many things the narcissist can't get away from, and at the end of this video, I will tell you the number one thing. But jumping right in, the narcissist can't get away from the truth. You see, the narcissist can paint the narrative any way they want to, but at the end of the day, people are waking up, people are wising up, and they're figuring out that the smear campaign is all around them, that what they were being told about certain people wasn't accurate. And the narcissist is being exposed more and more on the planet each and every day. Now, I do not suggest for you to go expose the narcissist. That is not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is focusing on yourself, controlling what you can control, living in the present moment, and taking the lifelong learning lessons from the past and applying them to present day. Of course, do not predict the future as well, but what the narcissist can't get away from is the truth. You see, all of the financial abuse that you experienced, all of the gaslighting you experienced, all of the triangulation that you experienced, all of the rage fits, all of the projection and the mirroring, all of the things that the narcissist did to you, they know that they did these things. Many times people ask, hey, does the narcissist know what they're doing? And recently, you could flip it any way you want to. You could say, yes, they do. And that's my camp. I 100% know they know what they're doing, and I'll prove it to you in a moment. But let's say that they don't. Well, they're still doing it. So the point being is, either way you cut it, you need to get away from these people. You need to run for the hills, which is why I so strongly suggest to go no contact, etc. But what the narcissist can't get away from is they can't get away from all the damage that they've inflicted upon their quote-unquote loved ones, which include their children, their spouse, their brothers, their sisters, their moms, their dads, their colleagues, their neighbors, their friends. You see, the narcissist can fake anything they want to. They can fake empathy, they can fake kindness, they can fake love, they can fake adoration, they can fake whatever they want to, and they're actually great at it. They're master manipulators. But the point being is they don't have those things. There's no genuineness or authenticity to the narcissist, and they can't get away from that. You see, the narcissist is a shapeshifter. They're a dark energy force, and what they want to do is just change their mask. If they could, they would change it once a minute for the rest of their life. And you may say, well, that would be quite tiresome, quite cumbersome to change a mask so frequently. Not for the narcissist. Remember, the narcissist wants change. They don't want stability. They want uncertainty. They want to keep people in certain parts or certain positions of the relationship. Example, if you did not find the needle in a haystack, if you did not figure out what narcissism was, you would be in the category of people that they didn't get the message yet, and that's a very challenging place to be. I was once in that position, and at one point you were too, but that's where the narcissist wanted to keep you stuck. The narcissist did not want you to break the chains of the narcissistic relationship. They didn't want you to heal. They didn't want you to go no contact and block them, etc. They wanted you to keep that door open just a crack so that they could kick it wide open at a later date. And that's how the narcissistic abusive cycle goes around and around and around. It's a constant loop. And within that loop of misery and the loop of destruction and chaos and confusion, there are many loops. These are many cycles within the big cycle of the narcissistic abusive cycle. Now, what the narcissist can't get away from is, as I mentioned, the financial abuse. Think about all the money you had in the past. The narcissist took most of it, if not all of it. Think about the relationships with your children that were blown up. Well, what happened there? I'll tell you what happened there. First of all, the narcissist is not going to receive the Parent of the Year award anytime soon. And if they see you getting close with your children or stepchildren, or they see you parenting properly, they're going to try and drive a wedge between you and those relationships. And the narcissist many times wants to turn their own children, if they can, into a mini-me, a little version of themselves. That's why frequently you will see the parent of the narcissist dress kind of like their children at times, not always, but they take pride in having a mini-me. Well, what the mini-me doesn't realize is they're being groomed into becoming potentially the next narcissist in the next generation. But all of these things I'm sharing with you, what the narcissist can't get away from, it's the financial abuse, the broken relationships, the future faking, all the destruction that they inflicted. How about the legal system, the court system? They abused that, didn't they? Well, you may say, of course they did. I now know that, Andrew. Well, yeah, they did. What did they do? They tried to prolong or extend the dragging out of the circumstances or the court case or the divorce proceedings or the custody of the child or the division of assets as long as they could, because they didn't want you to have these things, meaning be divorced, custody, and the assets. But they didn't want, not only did they not want you to have them, but they didn't mind wasting your money to drag it out as long as possible. That's why breaking free from these people, specifically in the court system, it is very challenging, extremely challenging to say the least. But if you're doing it, you know what I'm talking about. If you've done it, drop comments below. And if you're about to do it, we need to prepare and understand that this will not be a relatively easy removal from the child or the parental custody or the assets or the divorce. But what the narcissist can't get away from, other things, would be all the lies that they told, all the times that they would look at you right in the eyes and tell you right to your face flat out lies, things that they knew weren't true, things that you believed, and things that you were hoping that were going to come to fruition. Example, let's say you married the narcissist and they said, yes, once the kids get a certain age, we're going to go buy a beach house in Tahiti and we're going to live happily ever after and the grandkids can visit, and something like that. Well, did that ever happen? Probably not. What happened? Well, somewhere between the narcissist uttering those words to keep you strung around longer and longer, and when the kids graduated, there was a whole bunch of abuse. You were being peppered with abuse. And when the kids perhaps graduated university or high school, that's when the narcissist many times will discard somebody because mission accomplished. You have now met your purpose. The narcissist doesn't need you any longer. I hear this so frequently, and actually I lived it. So having said that, this is what the narcissist can't get away from. They can't get away from all of the misery they've inflicted, all of the lies that they've told, all of the broken relationships that they've driven wedges between. And this also applies to their besties, the best friends of the narcissist, who by now probably have figured out who the narcissist is. You see, everything isn't how it appears to be in the narcissist's world. The narcissist will manipulate anybody they can, from their own children, to besties, to mini-me's, to their spouses, to their moms, their dads, their siblings, etc. How about this one? How many times did you, when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, did the narcissist isolate one of their own siblings or moms or dads? I mean, they flat out wouldn't talk to the narcissist. Again, back then you didn't know they were narcissist. Or the person either wouldn't talk to your spouse or your spouse wouldn't talk to them. What is that? Well, first of all, that's not healthy or stable communication or avenues of communication that were closed. Who would just cut off their immediate family member for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years? Well, I will tell you who would do it. Somebody who was toxic. Either your spouse was, or maybe their sibling was, or maybe both were. But the point being, the narcissist always wants to have the upper hand. They always want to believe that they're in control. They always want to believe that they know more than other people, including anybody that is around the narcissist. This is what they can't get away from. The narcissist cannot get away from the fact that they are inferior. They are not superior. They're inferior. And if you don't know what that word means, and I'm sure you do, narcissists, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you are miserably inferior. You think that you know everything. You know nothing. All you can do is change the mask you wear to manipulate people, to have people placed in the trauma bond, to future fake with people, and to isolate people, and to steal their identities, and to have people become a shell of themselves, and to have people lose their sense of self. This is what you want to do, narcissists, but you're failing. You're failing miserably. And each and every day, the empath is becoming not only awakened and aware, educated, and empowered, but we are understanding our reality. We are understanding that we are the beautiful, bright, shining light that you tried to extinguish, but you couldn't quite do it because you tried. You gave it the old college try, and you crumbled us up like a sheet of paper and threw us away in the freeway, never thinking that we would put 2 and 2 together, never thinking that we would heal, never thinking that we would grow in numbers, and never thinking that with this message would have a ripple effect throughout the universe. But that's exactly what is happening. As I mentioned in the very first video I ever created, which was March 31st, 2021, glad you made it. I just watched that video again last night to get a refresher on my journey. And let me tell you, that video is completely revealing about my mindset. But I picked up the camera, I dusted myself off by the bootstraps, and I healed, and I began to spread the message of awareness all over the globe. And that's what I'm doing each and every day. And my hope is when your cup is full and when you are strong enough, you will do the same thing. Because there is no longer room for a narcissist in your life. Certainly not in my life. At the whiff or the hint of toxicity, I run for the hills. I don't give people second chances any longer. I used to. I don't anymore. And I have insulated and protected myself, just like you are doing, to surround myself with like-minded people. people that have been through something, people who know who they are, people who do not manipulate, people who do not play games, and people who are comfortable on the healing path because they know how long it took them to heal, and they know that nobody was there for them, nobody was there knocking on their door coming to save them, that they had to do this by themselves. And these are the strong people. These are the people who have reached the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, where they no longer care about toxicity, the narcissist, energy vampires, or anybody who doesn't serve them. My hope is you're either there standing alongside of me, or you are approaching the pinnacle of indifference. But either way, if you're not, continue moving forward each and every day. If you are there, be grateful. Take a big deep breath in, a slow exhale out, and say, I did it, I'm here. It was a journey, it was a long journey, but I did it. But other things the narcissist can't get away from are all the hopes that they've dashed, all the dreams that they've crushed, all the vacations that they've ruined, all the birthdays that they've blown up, all the holidays that they made about themselves, all the graduations that they didn't attend on purpose, which I'll talk about in a minute. Remember, the narcissist is in competition. They were in competition with you and their own children, etc. And let's say that one of the children of the narcissist has graduated or is about to graduate. Well, many times the narcissist won't even attend that event. Why? Because they don't want to be there to support the child, because they're envious and jealous of the child, and they don't want the child to succeed and elevate higher than they have. This is what the narcissist does. They don't want to recognize accomplishments. They don't want to be there to support achievements. They want to be removed and to act like these things didn't matter, to act like these things had no value. You see, the narcissist, again, they're a coward and a bully, and there's nothing to them but shallowness and hollowness. What they do is they echo back words that other people have spoken, and they just reiterate what other people have said. That's why with the communal narcissist, or people that read scripture so well, many of these people, what they do is they just read whatever religious book it is, and they memorize these things and they spit them out left, right, and center as if they're holier than thou, and because they know some scriptures, they know everything. Well, they don't, and they're abusing these scriptures, and they know it, and I know it, and now you know it. You see, the narcissist is everywhere, and they're always looking to be on the go. They're always looking for the next new shiny object. They don't want stability. They don't want commonplace. They don't want to grow old together. What they want to do is continue to act like they're a person from 30 or 40 years ago. That's why they become the aging narcissist, because they're holding on to their looks. They're holding on to the promise of their youth, which has now been blown up. They're looking in the mirror each and every day, and they're seeing more and more wrinkles on their face, more and more gray hairs all around them, and they're seeing that they can't quite get the attention, i.e. supply, that they used to get when they were 20 or 30 years old. The reason they can't get that is because people aren't giving them the time of day for multiple reasons. One, because they're probably still wearing a t-shirt from the 70s. Two, because they probably haven't brushed their hair or teeth in decades. Three, because they have no idea that they don't look the way they look. They think they're looking the way they look when they were 20 years old. And whatever letter or number I'm on, because they are in denial that they're actually the age they are. You see, the narcissist is always looking for compliments. They're always looking for praise. They're always looking for accolades. Everything has to be about the narcissist. That's why they surround themselves with certain types of people. One would be enablers, people who enable the poor behavior of the narcissist, or just they surround themselves with the narcissist. Two would be the flying monkeys, who do the bidding for the narcissist, and they're the people who are equally, if not more, weak than the narcissist, because these people don't live their own lives. And the besties of the narcissist usually turn out to be the flying monkeys. These are the people that are usually spying on the target's social media and creating fake accounts and dropping fake comments, etc. These people, and you know who you are, you deserve nowhere. You deserve what you get, because you will be a target eventually by the narcissist, because nobody is safe from the narcissist. Not their own children, not their spouses, not their parents, not their besties of 20 plus years, not the colleagues, co-workers, neighbors, anybody. Anybody can be turned on at the drop of a hat. And the other people that the narcissist surrounds themselves with are people who are drinking so much of the nonsense of the narcissist that they too are the narcissist, meaning toxic people, because misery loves company. That's why so frequently when you were in a narcissistic relationship, let's say your spouse had a falling out with their sister or brother. Okay, well, they didn't talk to each other for a year or two. Well, what happens? Well, then they would rekindle the communication for whatever reason, and then they act like they're best friends until the next blow up happens. This is the loop that just keeps going around and around and around. And if you're in the loop, you need to get out as fast as possible. If you're out, you need to really be grateful that you're out and slow your life down and heal, etc. But the whole point of the video is that the narcissist, what they can't get away from, there are so many things. They can't get away from being stuck in the house where they're in. Maybe right now they're trapped in their own house or apartment, Many times post marriage with the narcissist will rent out a room in a complete stranger's house, maybe even across the country or in the same area or vicinity. Why would they do that if they have a lot of money? Well, first of all, I hear this frequently. Second of all, they would do it because there are people in the house that they're renting a room in, and that's giving them supply, and it's all new for them. So what will they do? They'll just live in that house, and plus they're cheap, so they want to save money, and they'll do whatever they do there. But then again, that will implode and they'll go somewhere else. This is why the narcissist is always looking for the next new thing. This is why the narcissist can't sit still. This is why the narcissist is always looking to get away from something. And I'll tell you right now, before I close the video, what's the number one thing the narcissist can't get away from? Can you guess? I'll give you a couple seconds. Take a guess. 3, 2, 1. That's right. You got it right. Good job. The narcissist cannot get away from themselves. They can't do it. This is why they want to trap people in that zombie-like, trance-like state. This is why they want to pepper people with abuse. This is why they want to keep people trapped in the narcissistic fog. This is why they don't want to give people closure. This is why the narcissist needs to feel needed. This is why the narcissist needs to feel powerful and important. And this is why the narcissist continues to wear the mask and manipulate anybody who isn't strong enough to heal or see behind the mask, or anyone who hasn't experienced the narcissist yet. But the narcissist, each and every night, as I've mentioned recently in videos, when they go to bed, they have to really process the damage they've inflicted upon their spouses, their children, their moms, their dads, their colleagues, their coworkers, their neighbors, anybody. And what they do on top of that is they also have to recognize that when their cell phone battery dies on one of their 3 smartphones at 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, and there's no one laying in bed next to them because people have closed the doors on them, their own children won't even talk to them, all their ex-spouses have blocked them, their friends aren't even communicating with them any longer, that they're going to endure or experience a narcissistic injury of monumental proportion. But it won't just happen once. It will happen every time that they're stuck. It will happen when they're stuck in traffic and they can't get signal. It will happen when they're stuck in an airplane and there's no internet signal. It will happen when their phone battery dies. It will happen when they drop or break their phone. It will happen when they're anywhere that they don't have a human being or a interweb device. This is what happens. Reality does come to the narcissist. And you may say, well, that's not really true because the narcissist just paints a different narrative in their mind and they don't think about it that way. Completely untrue. Now you may say, well, how is that untrue? I will tell you, because there are narcissists on the channel watching the videos. Why do you think they're watching the videos? I'll tell you why. Because they're trying to get the wisdom. Because they're too lazy and dull and boring to do homework themselves and introspect and work on themselves. They need to get wisdom from the channel, and they need to drop silly comments that get deleted. This is why the narcissist can't change. This is why they can't elevate. This is why they can't ascend. This is why the narcissist, what they can't get away from is their tiny little brain that's running around with a tiny little script. Not even Hollywood. It's a Bollywood script. It's going around and around and around. And this is why the narcissist will blame anybody. They will throw anybody under the bus for their poor behavior. They will throw anybody under the bus for their misgivings. They will do whatever they can. As long as the narcissist has an audience, they will be performing. And they will be performing to exclusive audiences depending upon who is in the audience. Example, if it was the two of you when you were in the relationship and you were in a car going to the beach driving 100 miles an hour and the narcissist wanted to throw a rage fit at you while you were driving, well, that was the mask coming off and you being berated for an hour and a half and being peppered with verbal abuse, maybe even other things, being told how not good of a person you are, etc. But that was for an audience of one. Now flip it. The car pulls into the beach. You just endured an hour and a half of verbal abuse. You barely got to the beach, but boom, what happens? Well, then there are other travelers or other people you're gonna meet at the beach house, and they're already there because you guys were late because the narcissist has to make an entrance. And what happens? Well, you get out of the car and you're not in a good space, but the narcissist is beaming ear to ear. They're glowing. Why do you think that is? Well, again, it's to paint the narrative of the smear campaign. So now the narcissist puts on a different mask for all the people that are in the beach house. Like everything's great, it's all puppies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, and you're drained because you just experienced an hour and a half of verbal abuse and of hearing a lot of things that you didn't want to hear. Well, the narcissist now again has taken another step further towards administering the smear campaign. You look like the person with problems, and now the narcissist is beaming and they're getting supply from everybody else and from you and your misery. Meanwhile, you were the chauffeur. You were the person who was driving, you were the person who experienced the verbal abuse, who paid for the gas, and probably who paid for the Airbnb. You see, you were doing everything when you were in the relationship, and nothing would ever be enough. You were the unpaid helper, you were the walking apology, you were the sounding board, you were the person who was experiencing all the abuse that the narcissist was dishing out until something broke, and then you were removed from the relationship or you ended it yourself. But the one thing the narcissist can't get away from, it is themselves. And they do know what they're doing, and they're doing it right now, wherever they are gallivanting the globe. If they're still on the planet, the narcissist is still abusing people. They're still feeling like they're entitled. The only difference is the clock has ticked further along, and their age and their looks are deteriorating. Well, their age is getting higher, but their looks are deteriorating, and they're holding on to anything they can to make it look like they're much younger. But as we all know, Father Time catches up with each and every one of us. And some of us enjoy and celebrate growing older because we're fortunate to be on the planet another day. That's not what the narcissist says. What they say is, I am on the planet one more day. I'm gonna make the most of it and blow up somebody else's life today. And if I'm here tomorrow, I'll do it again. You see, the narcissist always goes down swinging. They will never, ever introspect or be accountable. They believe no one will ever figure out who they are, and no one's smart enough to deduce who they are. But again, in the end, it all comes back to haunt the narcissist. All the skeletons in the closet of their past will come back to roost one day. And I can tell you this, it happens in their tiny little brain every single night when they're getting ready to go to bed, when they're spying on your social media, when they're creating fake accounts to see what you're up to. You see, the narcissist had the best thing that they will ever have in you, and they know it. And the thing is, once you get out of the narcissistic relationship and you heal properly, you close the chapter on these people and you block them, go no contact, etc., that's when the doors of abundance will open up for you. And I've helped so many people get to the pinnacle of indifference, and these doors are kicked wide open for them, the doors of abundance. And my hope is that I can help you get there too. So continue moving forward each and every day, and understand if today is not where you want to be, maybe tomorrow you continue to make more progress, and then eventually in a month, 2 months, 3 months, etc., you will be where you want to be. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. You are not alone. And I am laughing because I will tell you right now, the narcissistic abusive cycle, once you've healed, sometimes you will be sitting and thinking to yourself, and something will strike you and it will make you laugh. If you're not there yet, you have healing to do. I was once where you were, but if you've healed properly, sometimes you will chuckle at something that you just crossed your mind. And I wish I could share it, but I can't share that one. I'll say this: understand that you are stronger than you know. Understand that you are an amazing human being. That you are loved, cherished, honored, respected. You are needed. And understand that the narcissist did have the best thing they ever had in you. They took advantage of you. They did crumble you up like a sheet of paper, threw you away in the freeway, but they didn't think you would make it. They didn't think you would heal. They didn't think you would survive, but you did, and you're doing it, and here you are. So again, focus on yourself. Heal. Begin today, if not now, when? Take these lifelong learning lessons from the past. Do not predict the future. Live in the present moment, and know that if today is not the best day for you, tomorrow will be better, and so on and so on. And also understand the healing path is not linear. It does not go up and to the right like a stock in the stock market. It will take you high and low, but it will get you to the promised land. You will see the light at the end of the tunnel more and more each and every day, the more that you focus on yourself and take these lessons and understand and apply the tools that are provided for you here on the channel and in the community. I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.